Yes. Dr. Mindy in the house. All right.
I appreciate that.
The carnivore diet.
Because of what we eat.
Honestly, you've really touched my heart.
Glyphosate, of course, is the active ingredient in Roundup. And Roundup is the most used herbicide on the planet, herbicide killing weeds. And the U.S. uses more Roundup per person than any other country in the world. So we're basically, the target for this chemical. And meanwhile, we're getting obese, we're getting autism, we're getting Alzheimer's. I mean, all these diseases are going up dramatically. It wasn't just autism. I got contacted somewhat later by Nancy Swanson, who was a really interesting person as well. She's a physicist. And she was sick herself, and then she recovered by going organic. She switched to a totally organic diet, and she healed herself, or at least got a lot better. And she started looking at, being a physicist, she could sort of do number crunching, and she started looking at statistical patterns of diseases, just looking at the data that the U.S. puts out on the web. Mm-hmm. And the use of glyphosate. You could get numbers about the use of glyphosate on corn and soy crops over time.
Yep.
Against all these diseases, and it was just incredible. I mean, for me, it was, whoa, it's much more than autism. It's not just autism here. And
right.
And gosh, it was just like such an epiphany.
Right. You see the headline. You see the headline on like the side of PubMed, and you're like, oh, well, that could be, but I'm not done with this one. That's exactly.
I know. Yeah. You just get into a feeding frenzy. And that's kind of what happened with me with this thyroid hormone story, because gosh, it's really complicated. But the really key thing, I think, is the clathrin-coated pits get stuck on the surface. They don't come in.